So the next position that I'm going to be giving my grades on would be the running back group, and let's break down who was the running back core for training camp, how they cut out certain running backs and what the running backs did, the main running or the how what running backs made the cut and how they did this throughout the season. So let's break it down. Um, so we had Adrian Peterson, Darius Geis, Bryce Love, Peyton Barber, Antonio Gibson, and JD McKissick. And a few weeks, um, into training camp, actually, maybe even a few days. I think it was either a few days or a few weeks within training camp. It was reported that Darius Geis had a domestic dispute report, so Washington released him, and we were down to 5 running backs from there. So after that, I thought that the running back crew that would make the team would be Adrian Peterson, Antonio Gibson, JD McKissick, and Bryce Love. I thought that Peyton Barber would be the odd man out. However, Ron Rivera decided to go young with a young crew. He wanted to rebuild this team from more veteran presence to a more younger, talented presence. So he cuts Adrian Peterson a few days before the cut deadline for training camp. So Adrian Peterson is out, right? So that left Peyton Barber, Antonio Gibson, JD McKissick, and Bryce Love. However, Bryce Love has not wasn't fully recovered from his torn ACL that he suffered 2 years ago. So he was on and off injured reserve. So it's unfortunate that we never got to see him in action. I really want to see him in action to see if he's actually good. Hopefully next year he makes the squad. We'll have to wait and see because he was a previous regime pick, not this year, not from this regime. So will he make the squad next year? We're going to have to wait and see. Now, JD McKissick, Antonio Gibson, and Peyton Barber, the 3 running backs that came into the season and played throughout the year. Let's do Antonio Gibson first. He's the rookie. And what a find what he was. What a find. I don't know if he was a Kyle Smith pick or a Ron Rivera pick, but here's the thing. When, it's the 3rd round of the draft, right? 2020 draft. Then everyone was begging for a wide receiver, tight end. And the next thing you know, I hear Antonio Gibson running back. And I was like, who the heck? I didn't even hear. I was looking at different wide receivers who I've heard of. And when I heard Antonio Gibson running back, I was like, who the heck is that? And why do we need a running back? Why? Why did Ron Rivera go with a pick like that? But then I decided to look up his highlights. And the way that it looked, he was actually a wide receiver turned running back. He was like a Christian McCaffrey type player. So so I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. And he showed unfortunately, because of the offensive line play, because of the play calling, like I said, he wasn't able to break out in many games. It took him a while to break out. I think it was, can't remember what game it was. I think it was the Browns. It was one of the later games where he broke out, but he finished the season with 11 touchdowns, 600 and something yards rushing. He'd unfortunately suffered turf toe during the Steelers game. So he was limited and out for 2 or 3 games. But, all around, very solid performance by him. Like I said, imagine if Washington would have had him the final 2 or 3 games. That running game would have been deadly. But All around really solid performance. His breakout game was the Dallas Thanksgiving game where he ran for 115 yards, had 3 touchdowns. So, like, that for me was a breakout game. So, next running back that I want to talk about is JD McKissick, and he was actually used more at the passing game, and unfortunately, like I said, because of the bad play calling in certain games, we didn't use Antonio Gibson and JD McKissick in the pass game as much as we wanted. But when Washington was winning games, they used JD McKissick a lot. They used him a lot. So I actually like the guy, and he's on a cheap deal. So he's going to stick around for another year. I'm excited to see how Washington incorporates him even more. Like I said, they used him more as a passing back than a running back, even though he did have good runs, but he was able to get 7 or 8 yards off the pass. So that's something I actually liked to see from JD McKissick. And then Peyton Barber, he was our younger, power back. He was our Adrian Peterson this year. Like I said, he really impressed in Tampa Bay. He had 400, 500 yards every year. But we actually expected Adrian Peterson to take that slot because he was a 1,000-yard rusher for Washington when he came in off of an emergency. And then last year, he almost had 1,000 yards. If he wasn't benched and a healthy scratch for that game, I think he would have had 1,000 yards. But like I said, Ron Rivera wanted to go for younger guys. So Peyton Barber got the nod. Had 3 big touchdowns in the Philadelphia game. Wasn't used as much throughout the year, but he proved to be the third down. Like, if we were on 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches, he would be the guy most likely, and he was used well. So I think, if we give him more snaps, like I kept on saying in my pregame analysis and my breakdowns, we need to feed our running backs because this team is built for running backs. The way that Ron Rivera and this team ran and won games, it was running the football and nasty defense. So Peyton Barber, had a key touchdowns in the Eagles game, had key touchdowns. A key touchdown, let me see, when was it? I think, was it the 49ers game or was it the Seahawks game? Please remind me. I know he had a key touchdown in one of the other games that Washington won. So, yeah, guys, this is my running back breakdown. All around, the running back crew, I think, is aside from the defensive line, which I'm going to get to, was our best core of the season. And I'm going to give the running back crew, I want to use them more. The coaching and play calling needs to use them more. So I'm going to give them a B+. Let me know if you guys agree with that grade. Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, next up is I'm going to be talking about the wide receivers and the tight ends.